On the 13th of December, 2020, Jason Landry, a 21-year-old Texas State University student, set out from his apartment in San Marcos, Texas, to drive home to Missouri City for the Christmas holidays. What should have been a routine 140-mile journey turned into one of Texas's most perplexing missing persons cases. His car was found crashed and abandoned on a remote gravel road in Luling, Texas, with his phone, wallet, clothes, and other belongings scattered nearby. Despite extensive searches, investigations, and rampant online speculation, Jason Landry has not been seen or heard from since. The eerie circumstances of his disappearance, combined with the lack of definitive evidence and the proliferation of internet theories, have kept this case in the public eye for over 4 years. Jason Landry left his San Marcos apartment at 10:55 p.m. on the 13th of December, 2020, driving his Nissan Altima toward Missouri City, a suburb of Houston. He was a freshman at Texas State University, known for his warm personality, love of music, and distinctive style, often wearing bright socks like his signature yellow SpongeBob pair. His route should have taken him southeast via major highways, but cell phone data and Waze navigation records tell a different story. By 11:24 p.m., Jason had reached Luling, Texas, a small town about 30 miles southeast of San Marcos. At the intersection of Austin Street and Magnolia Avenue, he stopped using Waze and switched to Snapchat. His digital footprint ended there, and shortly after, his car crashed on Salt Flat Road, a desolate gravel road in Luling's oil field. At 12:31 a.m. on the 14th of December, a volunteer firefighter discovered Jason's car, abandoned with its lights on, keys in the ignition, and the front passenger door locked. The vehicle had veered off the road, struck a tree and a barbed wire fence, and sustained damage to the rear driver's side and front. Authorities believe the crash resulted from Jason overcorrecting on the gravel road, causing the car to spin out of control. Inside and around the vehicle, investigators found Jason's backpack, wallet, a small amount of marijuana, a laptop, gaming equipment, toiletries, and a tumbler containing a dead betta fish. Most disturbingly, about 900 feet from the crash site, his father, Kent Landry, later found Jason's clothes, shirt, shorts, underwear, socks, slide sandals, and a wristwatch strewn across the road. A small blood smear on the left hip of his shorts suggested minor injury, possibly from contact with the barbed wire or foliage. Kent, a former defense attorney turned pastor, arrived at the impound lot at 5:30 a.m. after receiving a call from the Texas Department of Public Safety, DPS. Around 2 a.m., he found Jason's phone wedged between the driver's seat and the center console, raising questions about whether it fell during the crash or earlier at the Austin-Magnolia intersection. At the crash site, Kent was shocked by the absence of police or searchers, despite his experience at crime scenes. "I've been to plenty of crime scenes, and I was expecting police and searchers, and there was no one," he told News Nation. The scattered clothing, some bloodied, and the lack of immediate response added to the eerie nature of the scene. The Caldwell County Sheriff's Office, initially leading the investigation, concluded that Jason's crash was a single-vehicle accident with no evidence of another car or foul play. They partnered with the Texas Rangers, Texas Search and Rescue, and private investigators, conducting extensive searches using dogs, drones, helicopters, and infrared technology. A nearby pond, where scent dogs led searchers, was drained, but no clues were found. Over 1,300 volunteer hours covered 3,500 acres, yet no trace of Jason emerged. In February 2022, the Texas Attorney General's Cold Case and Missing Persons Unit took over, dedicating hundreds of hours to forensic testing, witness interviews, and geofence search warrants. A November 2023 roundtable with experts from the FBI, Texas Rangers, and other agencies concluded that all credible leads had been exhausted, but the case remains active. Cell phone data provided a partial timeline. Jason's phone last connected to Waze at 11:26 p.m. at the Austin-Magnolia intersection, suggesting he may have missed a turn toward I-10 and continued straight onto Salt Flat Road. No social media or communications indicated he planned to meet anyone in Luling, and a geofence warrant showed no activity near the crash site. Despite these efforts, the 67-minute gap between his last digital footprint and the discovery of his car remains a critical mystery. The Caldwell County Sheriff's Office released additional evidence in January 2022, including Snapchat videos of Jason smoking marijuana and a FaceTime call with a friend about an hour before he left San Marcos. Captain Jeff Ferry, the lead investigator, noted that Jason appeared under the influence, sweating heavily and discussing spiritual enlightenment and psychedelics. Ferry suggested that Jason's drug use might have contributed to the crash, but emphasized that this did not rule out the possibility of him being a victim of a crime. The release of this evidence sparked controversy, with Kent Landry criticizing the sheriff's office for implying Jason was just a stupid college kid whose drug use diminished the urgency of the case. The absence of definitive evidence has fueled a range of theories, from plausible to outlandish. The official stance from the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office and the Texas Attorney General is that Jason likely walked away from the crash and succumbed to the elements, possibly due to hypothermia-induced paradoxical undressing, where individuals remove clothing in extreme cold. The night was near freezing, with temperatures between 36 and 43 degrees Fahrenheit, and the scattered clothing supports this theory. However, no body has been found despite extensive searches, and the idea that Jason wandered far enough to evade detection seems unlikely to many. Alternative theories suggest foul play. Some speculate Jason was carjacked, involved in a road rage incident, or stumbled upon a drug deal and was abducted. These ideas persist because no evidence definitively disproves them, though the lack of stolen valuables or signs of a struggle weakens their credibility. A retired FBI agent, Abel Pena, and his team have challenged the sheriff's conclusion, arguing that the possibility of another person's involvement was not thoroughly explored. Online communities, particularly on Reddit and the Talk of Jason Landry Facebook group, have proposed darker scenarios, including drug cartel involvement or a cover-up by local authorities. However, Captain Ferry dismissed these as unsubstantiated, stating, "We've heard drug cartel theories, we've heard aliens. There's just nothing that takes us in a direction outside of here." Another theory posits that Jason suffered a head injury from the crash, leading to disorientation and paradoxical undressing. The small amount of blood on his shorts supports the idea of a minor injury, but no medical evidence confirms a severe trauma. The feral hogs theory, suggesting animals consumed his remains, has been largely dismissed as far-fetched, especially since searches found non-human bones. Online sleuths have also speculated about Jason's mental state, citing his interest in spiritual enlightenment and psychedelics, but no evidence suggests he was suicidal or planning to disappear. The case's eerie details, abandoned car, scattered clothes, and lack of witnesses have made it a magnet for true crime enthusiasts. Posts on X, Reddit, and Facebook have kept Jason's story alive, with users sharing flyers, organizing vigils, and debating theories. A Texas Monthly article in 2025 called it one of the most bizarre cold cases in Texas history. As of July 2025, Jason Landry's whereabouts remain unknown. The case's lack of closure, combined with its haunting details, ensures it remains a focal point for true crime communities. Was Jason's disappearance a tragic accident, a crime, or something else entirely? The scattered clothes, abandoned car, and silent phone hold secrets that, for now, refuse to be unlocked.